Hey, what's up? My name is Tyson Brown and I want to welcome you to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. This is Australia's top health and fitness podcast to help you lose weight, look good with your shirt off, feel confident in your body, and finally achieve the goals you want with your health and fitness. So 5 days a week, I'm going to be giving you top information from myself and also from leading experts in the field so you know everything you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. From nutrition to mindset to workout, everything is covered in this podcast and you need to go nowhere else. So like I said, it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, in your ears with quick, actionable segments that you can implement straight away, because the most important thing is that you can put these things into play. Also, if you listen all the way to the end of the episode, you're going to get 2 special gifts that you can download upon listening to it. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to get those free gifts, okay? So let's get into the episode. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tyson's Fitness Tips. Today I'm sitting down looking at my camera doing this recording, which I actually have never done before, so it's going to be interesting to see how I go. This one's probably not going to be a Facebook video or anything like that, but I'm practicing my podcasting and I thought, you know what, I can sit down today and do a 10-minute Q&A. This actually gives me a good opportunity to actually look at the questions that I'm going to be just talking about today. But in the meantime, if you're watching this, True Protein, my little coffee cup, I'm drinking a decaf because it is a coffee cut this week. So far, so good. Actually, it's Thursday. Haven't had any coffee yet, so got a couple more days to go and that'll be it. Anyways, today's topic, what I want to talk to you guys about, it's about keeping things simple and why you don't need to be looking for the next latest and greatest workout routine, the next latest and greatest diet, the next latest and greatest any of that shit. Because the honest truth is getting the results you want comes down to the monotonous execution of the basics day in and day out. It's staying in a calorie deficit. It's working out consistently. It's just doing those things that you know that aren't sexy that you've got to do every single day. It's moving, it's working out, it's sleeping, it's eating the right type of food, and that's it. Like, honestly, if you can follow that for a certain amount of time, you will get the results you're after. And I think that's the big problem, because a lot of people, they don't, you and me, and we just don't put our head down and go long enough for a period of time, because otherwise you fall off the bandwagon, right? Or you think that it's not working when you don't give it enough time. 3 weeks into a diet, you're not going to see much results. 4 weeks into a diet, you're probably not going to see much results. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's going to take a long time for you to get the body you want. But you have to follow those basic monotonous things. Just because you think it's not working doesn't mean you have to go and jump into keto this week because last week the carb stuff didn't work and next week you think you've got to jump onto something else. You've got to be able to stick it out and you've got to be able to stay on that calorie deficit, right? So it doesn't matter how you look at getting in a calorie deficit, like we talked about. If it's keto, if it's paleo, if it fits your macros, whatever it is, you've first of all got to be in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight, right? Once you figure out how to be in that calorie deficit, whether it be through keto, whether it be through anything else, you've got to learn to stay in that calorie deficit. Because the biggest problem that people find is that they can be consistent for maybe 5 days or whatever it is, but then on Saturday and Sunday, you completely turn it into a bull terror. And you know, 30 to 40% of our calories, the excess calories that are consumed are actually on the weekend. That's why people struggle so much with weight loss. It's because those weekend things come off, your environment's different, you're out partying, you're out having fun, or you're with friends or whatever it is, and you just go, you know what, I'm going to have a little bit here, I'm going to have a little bit there, and that ends up turning to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories a day, and your what's it called? Your calorie deficit is no longer a calorie deficit, simply because you decided to eat a little bit more, quote unquote, which turned out to be a lot more than you thought you should. So you need to get this in your head. You need to think about that you have to follow those basic executions on a daily basis, and that first thing is being in a calorie deficit. So if that works for keto, if that works for paleo, if it fits your macros, whatever it is, you follow that diet that's going to help you stay in that deficit. The second thing you do, you don't change it, right? You eat those foods, whatever you've got to eat, you follow the protocols, you do whatever you've got to do day after day after day after day after day, you didn't stay in that deficit? Because we live in this instant gratification world. We can get Uber Eats to our door. We can see 30-day transformations on Instagram. But people like you and I, it's going to take longer than that. So you've got to be willing to put in that effort and have that discipline to go for a certain amount of time where you're just going to focus and go down. This is what I talked about earlier, like having that 12 weeks of just going really hard and then having a diet break or whatever it is. But you've got to commit to that long term of going day after day, doing the same thing, staying in the calorie deficit. Don't try and look for a new diet. Don't try and look for anything else. Stay in that deficit, and I guarantee you that's going to be the first phase of fat loss. Now, the same thing comes for number 2 for your training. Stop trying to look for a brand new workout program. Honestly, you probably don't need a brand new workout program every 4 weeks. Most people change it up because they get bored. It's really that simple. You want to change your workout program because you're bored, not because you've plateaued, not because you've stopped making progress, not because you need to shock the muscles. It's just because you were bored. Because otherwise, you should be able to stick to that calorie, to that every single day, 5 days or 3, 4, whatever, how many days you're training. And if you're progressively overloading your muscles by increasing the weights or increasing the repetitions, I can guarantee you that you are going to see the results you want. Gaining strength, building lean muscle, having a better physique, all those things if you follow the basic stuff. Don't look for drop sets, don't look for supersets, don't look for any of that stuff. Stick to the basic workouts and push yourself hard. Develop some strength in those key movements, the squat, the deadlift, the bench press, the overhead row, the bent over row. All those things that you know are going to move you forward and get you stronger. Focus on those things first and just increase the weight or increase the repetition. That's all you have to do. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters, okay? You don't have to do all these crazy things you see on the internet. You don't have to do these metabolic workouts or any of that stuff. You need to focus on being in the calorie deficit. You need to focus on training and doing the monotonous things over and over again, because as unsexy as it sounds, it's what works the most. When you look at that's why you see, when you look at bodybuilders and stuff like that and you look at their training routines, they didn't have hundreds of training routines. They only had a handful they actually went through. If you look at their diets, most of their diets was the same thing over and over and over again. And you know why? It's because it worked. And that's the most important thing. Like, if you aren't willing to do the monotonous stuff over and over again, even when it feels quote unquote boring, even when it feels like nothing's working, if you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and you're putting in the intensity in your training, I guarantee you will see results. But you can't expect this to happen overnight. This is not fucking Uber Eats. This is not any of those things that are going to happen in a 30-day transformation, because that is bullshit. And probably you have more weight to lose than you actually think. And that's why you need to put in the work. That's why you need to dedicate a certain amount of time to stay in that calorie deficit. Because we think, a couple of weeks, got about 5 pounds to lose. You don't have 5 pounds to lose. You probably have about 15 or 20 pounds to lose. And so you've got to focus on doing that. You've got to focus on making sure that you're going to go for a certain period of time and you're just going to go balls to the wall and go hard. And that's what I did before my diet back in 2018, and that's also what I've got to work on now, because I've let the wagon wheel slip a little bit, and I've got to get back on track. So that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing, I'm dedicated, I'm doing those monotonous things. I'm going to eat the same food over and over again, and I'm going to make sure I'm on the right track. And that's all I want for you. I don't want you to make the mistakes I made. I don't want you to fall in the trap of looking for the new, shiny, bright object, because that's all I used to do when I was a kid. I used to just follow the same thing. Oh, look at this workout program in the bodybuilding forums I used to go on. Or look at this men's fitness magazine, whatever it was. And like, I thought that was the latest and greatest, and I thought that's what was working. But like, for me, it's just doing the things, the basic movements, not looking at what everyone else is doing in the gym and thinking that they know some secret, or thinking that someone in the magazine has the secret. It's focusing on those big execution things. Getting stronger at the movements, increasing your weights or increasing your repetitions, sticking to the same type of foods every single day, finding out what a diet, quote unquote diet, helps you stay in a calorie deficit. For me, that's intermittent fasting. For you, it might be something else. But figure out what's going to work best for you, and then you stick to it and you do it day after day. And you don't get distracted by anything else. And I guarantee you, if you follow that, then you're going to see the results you want, okay? But you've got to be willing to be, quote unquote, bored and just doing the same thing. And you've got to love that process, because the end outcome, you're not going to feel good for that end outcome. Because once you achieve it, you're going to want to go to the next thing. And if you don't have the next thing in place, you're just going to fall apart. That's what happened to me after my photo shoot. I didn't have a following goal and I just fell apart. So that's why I had to set myself and say, okay, I want to gain 1 pound a week. I need to be focused. I want to have another photo shoot going on, or whatever it's going to be. And then I went from there. And so that's that's really the big topic I wanted to cover today, because it's been a big struggle in my life when I was younger. I see guys struggling with it all the time. They come to me and they tell me they got to shock the muscle and change up the workout routine. I'm like, no, man, you don't. Or they ask me the best diets. Like, you don't need any of that shit. You focus on the basic fundamental movements. You get that shit done. You focus on the basic fundamental foods that are going to help keep you full. You get that done. You eat it every day. You meal prep on Sunday. You do those things that are boring as hell, but I guarantee you, if you do that, you're going to get the body you want, okay? But it's not going to happen overnight. Let me tell you that. I promise you it's not going to happen overnight, but I promise you it will happen if you are consistent and you stay with it, okay? So for those of you who are watching, I'm sorry that I'm pointing and looking away at the microphone. I'm trying to get my thoughts about like where exactly I'm looking on the screen, but I'm going to get used to it. Now, remember, if you need help with this, I've got a 6-week workout program that you can download. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet, and I've got a 20 high protein meal recipe to help you put all this into place and get you on the right track. So all you have to do is go to www.tysonbrown.com.au/bundle, BUNDL, and you can download it straight away. Till next time, I'll speak to you then. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. So now you've listened all the way to the end. That means you get some free goodies. So what you can do is you've got 2 different options, or you can take them both. I've got an intermittent fasting cheat sheet and a high protein 20 recipe meal guide designed specifically for you in your situation. These meal plans and this intermittent fasting guide is designed to help you burn stubborn belly fat and get in the best shape of your life. So all you have to do is go to the show notes, click on the download link, and they'll get sent straight to your email address. It's as simple as that. They're completely free. They're going to help you transform your body. So go to the show notes now and download with free guides, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.